Good evening, everyone. This is the Rooftop Sports, and here we are for some Mariners baseball, where the Mariners are coming off of a humiliating defeat against the Houston Astros, where they had a 2-0 lead, and then the Astros scored 9 unanswered runs, and it was an absolute humiliation. There was some lot of disconnect going on, where a lot of indecisiveness, where Dan Wilson pulled George Kirby for Eduardo Bizardo, and then he put in Jesse Hahn. And then eventually he put in some of his high leverage bullpen pitchers like Gabe Spire and Colin Snyder, which made absolutely no sense. If it was the other way around, then it would have made sense because the Mariners they were actually still in the game. Like it was still 3-2 when the Astros were up when they took out George Kirby. So still puzzled why Dan Wilson even did that. Like it's giving me like complete Scott Service vibes. But today we got Emerson Hancock, who is 1-2 with a 6.21 ERA. Has been looking better this season, but he's still got a long ways to go. As opposed, we got Gusto of the Houston Astros. Ryan Gusto, he's 3-2 with a 4.65 ERA. And also my Root Sports feed is just badly failing on me. Like we're talking badly. Like it's just really, really slow. So I may have to look at other avenues. Not sure exactly what it would be, but yeah, it's been really, really slow as soon as I started it. But here we are. Lineup for the Mariners as the game is in 3 minutes. We got J.P. Crawford, Jorge Polanco, Julio Rodriguez, and thankfully Julio Rodriguez is back. Then we got Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, Rowdy Tellez, Leody Taveras, Miles Mastroboni, and Ben Williamson will be starting at third base. And as for Houston, they got Jeremy Pena, Isaac Paredes, Jose Altuve, Yainer Diaz, Christian Walker, Caratini, the DH. So they're switching spots between Diaz and Caratini. Then we got Jake Myers, Cam Smith, and Mauricio Dubon. Injury reports: Taylor Dollard is projected to be back soon, along with Trent Thornton, May 25th. He looks like he's getting close, but he's not been looking good at all. Then we got Bryce Miller, but don't forget they're probably going to be due for the rehabs. And along with Logan Gilbert, Cade Marlowe is out for like pretty much ages. Not that he's been any useful, unfortunately. And as for Houston, the only one I really care about is Yordan Alvarez, and it looks like he's not going to be there for the rest of the series. So that is not saying I condone injuries, because Yordan Alvarez is actually one of my favorite baseball players, and he's on my fantasy baseball team. But Mariners do have to take it. They really should take advantage of some of the shorthandedness that the Astros are dealing with. And this game's about to start in 2 minutes. And before we get started, if anyone is here, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also donate to this channel. And shout out to William, who was able to do so yesterday with $10. And join my membership for just $5 a month. We got Metropoli Jonathan's. Hello, thank you very much. You're the Mets fan. And I got my big supply of water, and I had already ate dinner, so I am all good and ready to go. And let's get this going. And the Astros are now taking the field. We got Gusto, who is just eager to get onto that mound. It seems like he is, because he's gotten to that mound quicker than anybody else. And yesterday, there was a comment I got yesterday. He said this was, I think I was reacting to a Dylan Moore home run. Trying to see what the comment was exactly. The most generic call I've ever heard. And I asked him what can be improved. And hey, you guys, if you have any suggestions for me on how to go about my play-by-play, please let me know. I'm welcome to the comments. Would like to know. Mets and Dodgers on a rain delay. Maybe more views for me. Now, Ryan Gusto, 3-2, 4.65. He has a strikeout rate of 22 and a walk rate of 9, nearly 10. We're getting ready. Players are getting ready. He's got a fastball, the cutter, the sweeper, curveball, and a changeup. He mostly pitches the fastball, so maybe this is an opportunity for the Mariners to get some runs in there. Ryan Gusto is the guy. Trying to see where he's at. Ryan Gusto, Savant. I want to see what his max velocity usually is. It looks like his velocity is going to be at around 91 seems to be his velocity. 93, so he's not really much of a power pitcher, and he pitches the fastball quite a bit. And when we look at his changeup, Changeup goes to 87, so it's not going to be much of a difference. So this is, I think, a great opportunity for the Mariners offense to get something going. And now here is the first pitch by JP Crawford, brought to you by SeatGeek. And now here is the pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike. And we are underway here in Houston. Beautiful sunset is ahead of them, as now we're at an 0-1, who's JP Crawford's 0 for 4 in the series. He has struggled lately. And now here is the 0-1 pitch. And now here's a fly ball foul. At least there's some solid contact so far. Last season, JP Crawford was 202. Now he's batting 262, but you got to get that up. WRC plus has been above 100, above the MLB average, so he has been a solid hitter so far. And now here's the 0-2, and here it is. And that's going to be a foul ball again. As now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be strike 3 called, and down goes JP Crawford. And now we've got 1 out. I mean, come on, JP Crawford. Like, the guy doesn't even pitch that much of a fastball. Sure, I can't hit it, but that's something that he should be able to hit. It was an 89-mile-an-hour pitch, so that was probably like a cutter. And now we've got Jorge Polanco up to the plate. Polanco has been struggling. He struggled terribly yesterday. Didn't even get a single hit. He was 0 for 3. I think he struck out pretty much 3 times, and he's got to get it going. Now here's the pitch, and that's going to be up high for a ball. Yainer Diaz tried to frame that one, but the umpire did not budge. Yesterday's game was really depressing to watch. He's been hitless in his last 3 games, first time this season. As now we are at the 0-1 pitch, and here's a ground ball foul. And now we got 1-1 on Jorge Polanco. And the goal for this show is to get to $50 of donations. I have gotten 10 yesterday, so let's try to up that. As now we're at 1-1 for Jorge Polanco. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. That's going to be a 1-2 count on Jorge Polanco. Polanco versus the righties. He absolutely destroys them with a 172 WRC plus. Only around a 70 to 90. I think it's like a 70 against the lefties. So he does struggle against the lefties. And now we're at the 1-2. Outside for a ball, 2-2. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. But either way, even whether it's 95 or 93, the Mariners should be able to hit off of this guy, because majority is more than half of his pitches are actually fastballs. Now we're at 2-2 on Jorge Polanco. Now we're at 2-2. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And shout out to Metropoli Jonathans for putting in $9. Now we're just at $40 to go. So let's keep the momentum going. Let's give Northwest Sports Fanatics a run for his money. Yes, he does live rent-free in my head. I mean, he's my main competition for this kind of stuff. And now we're at the 2-2. And now here's the pitch. Low for a ball. That went right through him. And that's going to be 3-2. So let's keep the momentum going. Magic number is now $40. And also, by the way, I am also at, Don't Quit Your Day Job, which I won't be able to do the games tomorrow and Sunday because of Don't Quit Your Day Job. So let's fix it. Let's put myself in the position where I don't have to have Don't Quit Your Day Job medal in. Now the pitch, and a swing and a miss again, strike 3, and Polanco strikes out again. I think that's his third strikeout of the series, and he has just been looking terrible. That was not even a good pitch to swing. And now here's Julio Rodriguez up to the plate, and Julio did not even play yesterday. He was scratched at the last second, and it may have cost the Mariners dearly, even though I don't think that was the real reason the Mariners lost. If you have to depend on Julio to win, then something's wrong with your team. Now here's the pitch. Now here's a fly ball popped up right over to Christian Walker. He's there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. And that's an easy 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts. And now we go to the bottom of the first inning. Now I'm going to play some extra bass. I got to show you that catchy song. All right, let's do this. All right, got a double already happening. Maybe a triple? Nope. Ah! Should have scored in that run. And the Root Sports feed is absolutely terrible. Ah, dang it. And now we are back from the break. And now it's time to get back into Mariners baseball. Now here's Emerson Hancock. 7 starts so far, 1-2 with a 6.21 ERA, but his stuff has been improving though. But he's got a long ways to go. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. This is to Jeremy Pena, the Mariner killer. His batting average is .298. Jeremy Pena, 6 home runs and 25 RBIs. He's been 1 for 3 in the series. Now the pitch is going to be outside for a ball. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball by Emerson Hancock. He's got up to a 97. Now we're at 1-2, and the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is 2-1 to count. 2-1 for Emerson Hancock. For Jeremy Pena. And now the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Emerson Hancock fooled him on that changeup, I think. It was actually a slider, excuse me. Now we're at 2-2. Now 2-2. Low for a ball. That gets away from Cal Raleigh. And now we're at full count 3-2, and I'm already getting nervous already for this game. Jeremy Pena doesn't really strike out that much. Actually, it's as a team, shall I say. 10th in strikeouts. Now the pitch. And strike 3 called, and Jeremy Pena knew it, actually. And now we've got 1 out. And that was outside the strike zone, but the umpire let him have it. And now next up is going to be Isaac Paredes. So Emerson Hancock is mostly a sinker pitcher. His fastball is basically the sinker. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not go. And that is going to be ball 1. There's a part of me that's actually relieved that don't quit your J-Bob day job, compromising my 2 days. Now the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But yeah, I'm kind of relieved because I can only look at a screen for so long. And now we're at 2-0 for Isaac Paredes. Now here's the 2-0 pitch. And now here's a fly ball popped up into right field. And that's going to be Leody Taveras who makes the catch. And now we've got 2 outs on this inning. Leody's kind of laughing about it, but I wouldn't. I would stay focused on this game. You can have fun once you win a World Series or at least make the playoffs. Rowdy Tellez at first base is a major concern for me. He had some defensive deficiencies yesterday. Now here's Jose Altuve up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike for Altuve. Jose Altuve was 2 for 4. He had 2 home runs yesterday. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. And the pitch. And that's going to be strike 2. Now we're at 1-2 for Jose Altuve. They pitch. Now here's a line drive to right field, and that is going to be a base hit. And Jose Altuve continues to bury the Mariners as now he is on first base. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Now we're at 1-0 for Yainer Diaz. Something weird is going on right now. I guess it was a lost ball. Now we're at 1-0. Now the pitch. Outside for a ball. And I wonder why Cal Raleigh is telling him to go to the outside. Yainer Diaz is actually on my fantasy baseball team, but I didn't start him in favor of Logan Ohape because he's actually been one of my better hitters. A 2-0. Now here's a ground ball right to JP, tossed over the second, and that's going to be in time, and that will retire the side. We go to the top of the second inning. Nothing doing by Houston, and now, what we got? Sarah, just pop in and say hi. Hope all is well. So busy lately. Yeah, thanks for being there. And I think you used to follow Northwest Sports Fanatics, but I guess you don't anymore. But yep, here I am, still here. By the way, I'm at $50 right. Not $50. I'm at $10 out of 50. To get me to 50 would be a huge achievement for me. And now I'm just gonna try to do this. My pitcher's name is Matt. Pitches 90 something mile an hour fastball. But it's good to see you again, Sarah. Oh no. Oh, we are back from the break. And here we are. And by the way, I'm confirmed that I'll be going to the Mariners game next Thursday with a couple friends. And it's going to be up to Cal Raleigh, the cleanup hitter, to get something done. You can just give a pitch to him right down the middle. You can blast a home run. And Gusto, he's on the pitcher's mound. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be a curveball for a ball. Now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 2. Now we're at 1-2 for the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And now the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Gusto. And that's going to be another out. I wonder if I had a chance to add Gusto on my fantasy team. Probably not. Ryan Gusto was added by Greg's team from yesterday. I wonder if I have a chance to add a starter for the Mariners game, for the Mariners tomorrow. Now we got Randy Arozarena up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be way inside for a ball. That nearly hit him. And that's going to be ball 1. Now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. Framber Valdez is the pitcher tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to land him. Nope. He was already drafted. Now we're at 1-1 for Randy Arozarena. Now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field. Nothing doing. Jake Myers makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs already. Then I got, for Sunday, who's the pitcher? It's going to be Gordon of the Astros. I think I'm going to add him. Colton Gordon, who is available. And I think I'm going to add him. The question is, who can I drop? I'm going to drop Suarez. There we go. And now here's Rowdy Tellez. And that's going to be low for a ball. Now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Rowdy Tellez is now batting .207 with 8 home runs and 23 RBIs. He was 2 for 3, which is why his batting average spiked just a little bit. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball. That's going to do it. Go to first, goes to the bag, and that's going to retire the side. And that was another easy 1-2-3 inning by the Astros. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
Well, there's the pizza opportunity for you on Monday and Tuesday, including Memorial Day. So make sure that you take advantage of your 50% off. Let's make it happen! And now we are back from the break. Now here's Christian Walker up to the plate. Now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Christian Walker's batting 199. He definitely struggled last night. And the Mariners are hoping that he struggles again. As now we are at 0-1 for Christian Walker, the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. Throw to first, and that will be in time. Easy play for Ben Williamson. And now we got one down. Emerson Hancock threw 13 hardest pitches of his career in his last start against the Padres. He had a really big game against the Padres. And now the pitch. It's going to be way outside for a ball for Caratini. Because now we're at 1-0. And the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. That's going to be a 1-1 count. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. Now we're at 2-1 for Victor Caratini. He is 4 for 14 against the Mariners this season. And the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 2-2. Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Tellez. He's got to toss over the first. And he's got him just in time. And that's going to be 2 outs. Now we're at Jake Myers. Now the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. And 1-0. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-1. Two and one. It's gonna be a ground ball foul. Now we're at 2-2 for Jake Myers. And the pitch. Low for a ball. Now we're at 3-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. And this time, this was a 1-2-3 inning by the Mariners, by Emerson Hancock. And now we go to commercial break, or shall I say, video game break. See what I did there? Video game break. Anyone get it? Get it? No? Okay. I understand. All right, here we go. He's safe. I'm going to steal the base. Yep, got an easy stolen base right there. And I'm going to score. Gonna make it 1-0. Should have went to second base on that one for Gary. Yep, I tricked him again. Uh-oh, gonna keep moving. And we are back from the break. Now here's JP Leody Taveras to the plate. And now here's the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to deep right field, and that is gone. And that just hit the facade of the upper deck. And Leody Taveras just hit his 3rd home run of the season, 2nd home run of the Mariners. And the Mariners get on the board and take the lead 1-0 as Leody Taveras just smashed the living heck out of that one. And it's good to see the Mariners get up on the board, as I was about to fall asleep in this game. But as soon as he hit that, that was just absolutely gone. And that's his 2nd home run of this week as well, as much as it is for the Mariners. So home run Mariners. Now it's 1-0, and let's keep this going. That was just absolutely blasted. Now here's Miles Mastroboni, and now here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Last 6 games, 5 hits for Leody Taveras. I think 4 of them may have been extra. That's a way to get the monkey off the back. And now here's the 1-0. And that is going to be a strike for Miles Mastroboni. Mastroboni was off to an okay start in April. He was actually getting on base pretty well, but then all of a sudden it just disappeared. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And check swing, he did not go. I would hope that he did not go. A couple of players in there, or a couple of fans in their taekwondo or their martial arts gi. And now we're at the 2-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. 3-1. Three and 1 for Mastroboni. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for ball 4. And this is for you, Miles Mastroboni. Now here's Ben Williams up to the plate. He is 1 for 4 in this series. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Mariners are hitting the ball hard, I guess. But it's just foul. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. Now we're at 0-2 for Ben Williamson. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, 1-2 for Ben Williamson. One and two for Ben Williamson, the pitch. Now here's a ground ball. That's going to be a double play ball. Toss over the second, toss over the first. And that's going to be in time for the double play. As if Miles Mastroboni had something going for the Mariners. And then Ben Williamson just ended it immediately with a double play. And now it's going to be J.P. Crawford up to the plate. Yeah, Tavares hit that, and he knew that it was gone. It hit the facade of that upper deck. Now we're at 0-1 for Leody Taveras. And now the pitch. Now here's a liner, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. And J.P. Crawford will get on base with a single. And had that double play not happened, had Ben Williamson done anything better, maybe we could have gotten the run in. So very disappointing to see something wasted. And now J.P. Crawford pretty much got that hit for nothing. But now it's going to be up to Jorge Polanco. Polanco's really got to get it going. Mariners actually have one of the best offenses in terms of WRC plus. They are 5th in Major League Baseball. Leody Taveras has hit 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. Only 5 of 25, though, so he's not really amounted to as much as we would like to. Polanco is 0 for 1. He struck out last time, but he's really got to get it going. Otherwise, he may just be an afterthought, as if he already was. I mean, I pretty much already forgot what he did in May. His batting average is now down to 289. He was at 384 at the start of April, and now all of a sudden, he has just been completely struggling. Now we're at Jorge Polanco. Now the pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. Now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch, and that's going to be right in there for a strike. Mariners in May are 10-9. They were 16-9 in April. If you combine April and March, they were 18-12. Now here's the 1-1. That's going to be a ground ball foul, weakly hit by Polanco, and he just looks completely lost. Mariners are 2.5 games ahead of Houston in the division. Rangers are now at 25-26. Now we're at 1-2 for Jorge Polanco. And a throw to first, and that's going to be not in time. Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Another strikeout for Jorge Polanco. He has just been completely struggling. I must say that I am just absolutely concerned for Jorge Polanco. Like what he's doing right now, it is very concerning. Like I don't even know what to say. But we go to the next inning, and all I can say is very concerned. Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
Tired today.
Like we were getting back from our commercial break. That commercial's been going on a little bit longer than it should have. And then we are back from the break. And actually, I'm behind. I'm at 0-2 for Cam Smith. And now here's the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball foul. Now the 0-2. Low for a ball. And the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. Bobbles it. Another throw to first. And that will be in time as he gets the out. Now that's going to be one out. Yep. And now we got Mauricio Dubon. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Up high for a ball. And that's going to be 1-0. Mauricio Dubon is 271 with one home run. Still and working on 1-0 the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike one. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to shortstop J.P. Crawford. Throw to first. And that's going to be in time. There's Jeremy Pena back to the top of the lineup. And now the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball. And knowingly, Mariners have to do more than just 1 run. Even 2 runs was not enough, and I don't even think 3 runs is enough. Hell, even 9 runs isn't even enough if it was if it was based on yesterday. Pena did strike out in the first inning. Now we're at 0-1 for Jeremy Pena. And now the pitch. And that hit him, and he's going to first base. That's the second time of this series that Jeremy Pena gets hit. Sometimes you wonder, I'm sure it was an accident. I don't think that he meant to do it. But there's some Mariners out there that would like to think that was an act of terror. Because the Astros and the Mariners have been known to be in a fierce rivalry. I didn't realize that you tried to defend yourself.
It was the rare exception. Because most of the time it was like they get halfway through.
Now here's Isaac Paredes at the plate. And now, throw to first. Not in time. Woo! So sleepy. Had a long day. Now we're at 0-1. 0 for 1 is Paredes. And now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. It's going to be 1-0 for Jeremy Pena. Or for Isaac Paredes. We're at 1-0. And the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. That is a 1-1 count. We're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. And I think does that put Jeremy Pena to second base? No, it does not. That's going to be 2-1. Hancock has got to get out of this inning fast or things will run away. And plus, he's at 42 pitches right now. And if his pitch count keeps going up, that means the bullpen is going to be much more utilized. As now we're at 2-1 for Paredes. And now here's the pitch. Up high for a ball.
How's that for? You don't think I wanted to be here? So, like I said,
3-1 for Paredes, and Emerson Hancock steps off for just a moment. 3-1 for Paredes. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball drilled to left field. Forget about that one. Isaac Paredes just blasted it. And now the Astros have a 2-1 lead. And that was a 2-run home run. That's his 11th home run of the season. And it's now the Astros 2 and the Mariners 1. And all I can say is the moment that left the bat, that was just absolutely gone. And now we got a brand new ball game. Yep, with Hancock pitching, we all know the bullpen will be used. And Teresa, thank you for not only being on this show, but thank you for also being a new member of this show. Hope you enjoyed my content. And please give me any kind of feedback about my fantasy football, baseball diaries, the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. That's why I said he's got to get out of that inning fast, or else it's going to catch up. And now it has caught up. And now we're at 2-1 Astros lead. And this series can run away from them. Now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball, more like a pop-up. But Rosarena has to run for it, and he doesn't even make the catch. Rosarena had plenty of time, but he showed absolutely no hustle once again. And I am very concerned about Randy Rosarena because he never hustles. I mean, let's just look at it. They're showing it from a different angle. He had a chance, and he didn't even complete it. JP Crawford didn't even like communicate saying that maybe he could have gotten it. Yeah, he's so lazy. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a strike for Yainer Diaz. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And now the 0-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And that's going to be strike 3. And that will retire the side. But, however, the Mariners, unfortunately, give up a two-run home run to Isaac Paredes. And now I'm going to go to play extra bases because I am so just devastated by that. Let's do it. I guess I got a bunt single off of a pitcher. And, oh, I barely missed the grand slam. Nearly had a grand slam home run. And that could be, that is gone. I got to hit a home run. Literally just hit a home run. And we are back from the break. Astros are now leading at 2-1. Julio leading off after Jorge Polanco struck out in the last inning. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball foul. Julio's batting .230 with 9 home runs and 28 RBIs. Now I'm curious to see, where was Julio Rodriguez up to this point? And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. In 48 games, that's where he's at. Yeah, that brought left lead. I was getting really to watch that. Man, it wasn't like the whole time. In 48 games, and now time has been called. Julio Rodriguez in his 48 games at that point, he was actually batting .274. And how many home runs was he at this point? As now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. low for a ball. Julio was actually at 2 home runs, but he batted 274. But his slugging percentage was absolutely atrocious.
High school team 3 times. Really?
Now we're at 1-2 for Julio. And now the 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball foul.
So that's a real attaboy. That'll make you feel good when you take them out. Yeah, Brian McTaggart, who does a great job covering the Astros for MLB.com. A nice piece on Gusto at the start of the year.
And now the 1-2. It's going to be popped up and fouled again. And it looks like it's actually Star Wars night for the Astros. Didn't realize that. Could have done another Star Wars show out of it. Now we're at 1-2. And now 1-2. Foul tipped, and that's going to be still 1-2. As we're at the top of the 4th inning.
Velocity really jumped. He started throwing in the mid-90s. His junior college coach then left the program, went to another school in Florida Southwestern State College in Fort Myers.
Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to be 1 out. The strikeouts continue to pile up on the Mariners. Gusto's at 5 strikeouts, and Hancock is at 3. Now we got Cal Raleigh up to the plate. With a hitter's park like this, there's absolutely no excuses but to hit those home runs. 1 out, nobody on. And now here is the pitch. And that was right in there for a strike. No doubt about it. Now we're at 0-1. And that's going to be a strike again.
So the Astros offered him a signing bonus of $125,000 when he was drafted in the 11th round.
Pretty good for that.
It's going to be 0-2 on Cal Raleigh. Oh, man. Now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball, 1-2. Now 1-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball.
And the Astros obliged. They gave him everything that was left.
Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. Well out of play. Let's see if I can find a pen somewhere. Which I can't find. Use a Sharpie. Now we're at 1-2 for Cal Raleigh. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, another strikeout. Strikeout number 6 for Gusto. And now that is 2 outs. Next batter is going to be Randy Rosarena. Now here's Randy Rosarena at the plate. And here is the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. And the pitch. And now here's a liner to left field. That's going to be a base hit, fair ball into the corner. And Randy Arozarena is going to go to second base with a double, 2-out double. And sometimes something tells me that I think he could have gotten a triple. Will you quit your posing, Randy Arozarena? Just stop it. Focus on the game. I really hate it when Randy Arozarena does that poser thing. It's really annoying. It's nothing more than just a diva. No wonder Yandy Diaz didn't like him, from what I've heard. Now here is Rowdy Tellez. Now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. Rowdy Tellez has an opportunity with a runner in scoring position. He can either hit that 2-run homer or just get it in the gap, and that will bring in Randy Arozarena if he actually has speed. And now the pitch. And that was right in there for a strike. That was his pitch right there. It was only an 87, so he really should have went for it. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And now we're at 1-2, and Rowdy Tellez takes time.
There was a lot of talk this face it that where's the offense going to come from? And now it's like, my goodness.
Mariners right now in the top 10 in runs per game in baseball, and the home run has been a big driver of that this year.
It's going to be 1-2 on Rowdy Tellez. 1-2 for Rowdy Tellez. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. There's no way he could have called that a strike, and that is going to be 2-2. 2-2 for Rowdy. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. And that is going to be 3-2.
That's a pitch around. You got in your right field. It's given Polo a little bit of a problem too the last couple of days.
Gusto is at 3-2 on Rowdy Tellez. Looks like there's some chatter going on. Looks like the catcher's just trying to remind him that, hey, Mariners suck. They're going to strike out anyway, so don't worry about anything. And now we're at 3-2 for Rowdy Tellez. And now the 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. I actually thought the umpire was going to call that to maybe have a makeup call when Emerson Hancock got away with throwing a ball. And now we've got runners on first and second. And then you're going to have Rowdy Tellez, I believe, is going to be up to the plate, who hit a home run last time. And now it's a chance for him to hit another anything to get some runs in. Now we're at Leody Taveras. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be way inside for a ball. That's going to be ball 1. Got 2 outs. Last 6 games, 5 hits and 4 were extra base hits. So there is a chance to feel that Leody Taveras can do something. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs, 5 for 14 out of the pitch, low for a ball, 2-0. You really want Taveras to hit something because you cannot trust Miles Mastroboni with the bases loaded. And I want to see what his stats are if the Mariners have the bases loaded. And now we're at 2-0. Now the pitch, 3-0 the count. And I really don't want to say it, but I think we should probably let Rowdy Tellez swing at it. Let's give him a green light to see what he can do. We're at 3-0 with 2 outs. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to go right to second base, go to first, and that is going to be in time. And the Mariners leave runners stranded on first and second. Yeah, it was 2 outs, but it was still a wasted opportunity. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and Mariners are absolutely hopeless.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're gonna spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May. And we are back from the break. And now here's the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. This is Christian Walker up to the plate. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Toss over the first. And that's going to be in time.
A tough start to the Astros career of Christian Walker, right? Just under 200. Signed that 3-year free agent deal this offseason. Would improve a guy that actually is back.
Oh, Kevin Kirby. I actually didn't blame Leody Taveras. I was like, I didn't trust Miles Mastroboni with the bases loaded. That's why, because with the bases loaded with 2 at-bats, he's done absolutely nothing but struck out. So I did not blame him for swinging it. It's just that he swung horribly. That's all. So with Miles Mastroboni, you were pretty much screwed anyway. And now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. No, I'm not going to give him a shot. No mercy. Now we're at 1-0. And that's going to be popped up to left center field. And Julio or Randy Rosarena is going to be there. And he makes the catch. We got Jake Myers up to the plate, batting .302 with 3 home runs. He's their center fielder. It's crazy to think that I think Kyle Tucker was the center fielder. That's going to be foul ball. Astros aren't the same team as they were in the last few years, but they are still a force to be reckoned with. I know a lot of Mariners fans were upset when Ben Verlander put the Mariners below the Astros in the power rankings. I mean, it's just freaking power rankings. Who the frick cares what a journalist thinks? I don't care. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to be a foul ball.
then leave that game after 2 innings because of a shoulder strain and found himself on the injured list shortly thereafter.
Myers is at 2 strikes. And now the pitch. Now here's a liner, and that's going to be a base hit. Went way over the head of Master Boney. He did make the effort, but however, yeah, Jake Myers had a really nice hit. And that's the thing. Mariners have problems with the 2 outs. They give up runs with 2 outs. And look at the Mariners. When it's 2 outs, it's pretty much over. I mean, let's look at the Mariners and how bad they are with 2 outs. And now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. And now we are looking at the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep left center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And he could be running home. And Randy Arozarena is throwing it. Now here's J.P. Crawford. And I think that just remains at third base is Myers. I was like, hustle the frick up. Randy Arozarena, you got to hustle. By the way, just to make it fun, Mariners are 17th when the Mariners have 2 outs. And the Astros are 8th when it comes to 2 outs. They did with 2 outs indeed. No, they don't. They don't know how to get any of these outs. Now here's Mauricio Dubon. And now we've got a very dangerous situation. Got runners on second and third. And yeah, the Mariners are getting absolutely killed by crappy hitters. And now Pete Woodworth's going to come out to the mound and have a chat with Emerson Hancock and basically said, yeah, you fucked.
You said too, it was 0-2 to go back to the last hitter. Jake Myers 0-2, and you said you have all the information.
With runners in scoring position, the Astros were 3 for 9, and the Mariners were just 2 of 10 with runners in scoring position. And now we got Mauricio Dubon, who has a chance to really break this open for the Astros. The pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. If the Mariners get swept by the Astros or lose the series, they really should reevaluate their needs because first base has a hole. You can't trust Rowdy Tellez on first base. Donovan Solano is not going to do it either. He sucks. Now the 1-0. Now here's a fly ball to deep right field and still going is Taveras right at the warning track, and he makes the catch to get out of a jam. Was met on second and third, and he did get away with it. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Astros lead 2-1. Oh, I just suffered a double play. Uh-oh, that's going to be a home run. Yeah, not even close. That was just absolutely blasted. Got a force out at first base.
grandchildren planning for their college education. Someday it'll be their
Oh,
turn.
man, I hit into an out. Here's Gary, a 50 home run hitter. Nope. And now we are back from the break. Now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's still going and going. And that is gone. That's a home run for Miles Mastrobuoni. And the Mariners tied the game, and they are back in business on an unlikely home run by Miles Mastrobuoni. And the game is tied at 2-2. I was like, when he hit that, I was like, oh, maybe. Oh, it's gone. That was the reaction. And now Kevin is putting me in my place by saying, you said you didn't trust Miles Mastrobuoni to see if he would hit a granny. Well, here's the thing. You're probably more likely to get struck by lightning to see a home run like that anyway. Let's just take the home run. It's all good. I guess I should have. Hey, he shut me up, and that's the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. You know, that's what I like about having stuff like this is people get to make fun of me. People have great opportunities to make fun of me on this channel. That's why I'm doing this. And now here is Ben Williamson, and that is a strike. Yeah, Miles Mastrobuoni with his first home run of the season. I was like, whoa, that's gone. Didn't expect that to happen. And now the pitch to Williamson. Check swing. Does not go. His first home run since 2023. He really needed that. And now here is Ben Williamson, the pitch. Up high for a ball. Now we're at 2-2 for Mastrobuoni. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. 3-2. And the 3-2. And that's going to be a foul ball. We're at 3-2 for Ben Williamson. And now the pitch. There's a ground ball foul, and Ben Williamson is still fighting it. Can't believe the Mariners they really are back in business. Now the bullpen is starting to get warm as Gusto is getting up there in pitches with 70. Maybe about a couple more innings for Gusto. Now the pitch, and that's up high for ball 4, and Ben Williamson will get on base with a walk. Mariners literally live and die by the home run. And that barely left the yard, too.
Yeah, a little toe tap, little chopper, little wood chopper up there. But the natural elevation, let them supply all the power. Nicely done. Hit it where it's pitched.
The Mariners to begin the third, and now Master Boney is starting.
Looks like there's some kind of pause going on right now. I wonder what's going on. Maybe it's a conversation between pitching coach and Gusto. First pitch home runs. Mariners actually lead the majors over the Angels, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. Now here's J.P. Crawford up to the plate. Now here's the pitch, and that's going to be outside for a ball. JP has a chance to give the Mariners the lead, as he does have the lead run on first base. And throw to first. And Ben Williamson stays there. And now we're at 1-0 for Crawford. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Now we're at 1-1. And the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. 2-1 on the J.P. Crawford. Now we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. That was an obvious one. We're at 2-2. 2-2 for JP. And the 2-2 pitch. And he reached it. And that's going to be a foul ball. Shouldn't have reached for it. Still 2-2. Now we're at 2-2 for J.P. Crawford. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball.
Well, I'm curious your thoughts on this, Jay. I mean, it's 162 games, 6 months, there will be ebbs and flows, right? And I think one thing that as a player, for sure, what Polo's going absolutely.
Now we're at 2-2 for JP. And now the pitch. And that's up high outside for ball 3. 3-2 for Crawford. And Polanco will be up next on deck. And now the 3-2. And that's going to be popped up and nothing doing. It's going to go to Altuve. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 out. And next going to be Jorge Polanco up to the plate.
Any team, no matter how much you do a certain thing well, like walking and hitting homers, you have to be able to do things in another way at certain points of the season. The Mariners have demonstrated that.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier. They're bottom of their order of doing those little things. They're getting on base, and then swing the back and change the whole flexibility of the ball.
And looks like that is enough for the pitcher. Coming in is going to be Salsa. So Gusto is done. And it's going to be Sousa. That's what they call him. And we'll be back after this timeout. Or shall I say, after I play a little bit of baseball.
Backed by 100 years of innovation, the new Scotch Brady Pro Sharp Painters Technology.
Home is built on Maine, where you know every inch at the back of your hand. A place that brings out your protective side. And a place you'll always think
Uh-oh. I gave up another home run.
most valuable thing in the world. Your bank. Mariners baseball at T-Mobile Park. Open low. They're going crazy. Guaranteed double park. Today, let's stay with Bear.
This is so great. I've been telling you for months.
It's been a lot of rain. Bear stains your deck will have all weather protection. Get the number one.
Come on, let's go. Uh-oh, that's going to be another home run. Another home run given up, and this is a brand new ball game. My ace, Matthew, is just absolutely struggling. And we are back from the break. All right, let's get back into business. And now we're back. We got Bennett Sousa. He went in for matchup reasons, and Polanco looks like he's still going to be hitting anyway. No, yeah, you can't do Mitch Garver on this one. The pitch, it looks like he's going to try to bunt, and that is going to be ball one. And now the 1-0. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and that's going to be easy play for Pena. He makes the catch in a blink of an eye. It's 2 outs.
Talking about the home runs for the Mariners and how important they've been. The other thing the Mariners have capitalized on is they have one of the best teams to homer with men on base.
We've got Julio Rodriguez. He has popped out and struck out. He is 0 for 2, and now the pitch. Up high for a ball.
Multi-run home runs in baseball. You know the difference between a solo shot and 2 or 3.
Again, if this pitch is fell, sometimes that's all they need.
And now the 1-0. And that's going to be a golf swing popped up to center field. And Cam Smith is going to be there. Not Cam Smith, Jake Myers. And that's going to retire the side. But the Mariners do tie the game thanks to a Miles Mastroboni home run, which is absolutely the Mariners desperately needed to get back into this game. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there is a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We are proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
And we are back from the break.
There is one in our house somewhere. Absolutely. Especially with the grandkids. I don't have to smoke weed like that. good, just as long as they make solid contact. I love it.
Now here's Emerson Hancock, and it's going to Jeremy Pena, and that's going to be a reach and a foul ball.
It's pretty special. I think this is one of those kids you just look at him, how he plays the game, his size, the way he's matured over the last couple of years. Reminds me a little bit, I said it before, of A-Rod.
Now we're at 0-1. Ground ball foul.
Good eye at the plate. That was a good season, too.
The funny thing is the guy that he replaced reminded everybody of A-Rod as well, Carlos Correa.
That was pretty special, too.
0-2 now on Pena. Taking down 27.
Now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up to right field, and Tavares is going to be there. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be one out.
Would be good talking a bit about a guy who does some things on you. So thank you.
He came out of the gates 22 home runs, hit 253, didn't have the same home run numbers.
His rookie year, huh?
Now we're at Isaac Paredes, and now the pitch. And that is going to be low for a ball.
Here's Paredes. He homered tonight. He's been homered 4 times in the last 4 games.
Let's not pitch him inside.
Yeah, let's see if Emerson
Pitch him the ball.
let's see if he can get to that half of the plate. He gets some swing and miss.
And the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. 1-1. Now the pitch. Inside, and that nearly hit him, and that is going to be 2-1. Looks like Hancock is trying to scare him a little bit because Paredes did hit the home run last time. Paredes has absolutely torched in this stadium as well. All going to left field. As now we're at 2-1 for Paredes. Now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 2. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball, 3-2. And the 3-2. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. And maybe next time when Paredes is up to the bat, you may want to consider intentionally walking him. Beef, what's for dinner? Okay, have no idea what that is. And now we got Jose Altuve. You might got to be careful with him because he does kill the Mariners. He had 2 home runs last night, and Cal Raleigh's going to have a talk with Emerson Hancock. Oh my gosh. That was a big one right there. Emerson Hancock at 69 pitches. I think he might have an inning or 2, depending how he does in this inning, though. Yeah, you definitely want to get Emerson Hancock deep into the game because you don't want to just burn through your bullpen, which Scott Service really did, and Dan Wilson did it last night. Now here's Jose Altuve. Now here's a liner to left field or center field, and that's going to be a base hit. And now we got runners on first and second. And now this is just getting very concerning. And that was on the first pitch. You knew by the way he hit that. You knew that was going to be hit easily. And now here's Yainer Diaz up to the plate. Hancock is getting into jams, and now the pitch. I honestly think that this could be his last inning. I mean, I want him to go deep, but if he's not pitching well, maybe you got to go into the bullpen. I hate saying that. I hate using the word bullpen. I hate using the bullpen. Altuve is 5 for 7. He has really picked it up in this series. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and well out of play. That's foul ball.
6'3", just beast walking into the clubhouse. I see him. I'm like, this can't be right, surely. Yeah, that's it. That's how it is. Really, I think he don't even. I'll tell you,
Last 5 starts for Hancock. Opponent batting average 229. And they'll pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. With runners in scoring position, that is.
He has been a very good ground ball pitcher, Hancock has, to right-handed hitters. Slider and that two-seamer both got a lot of ground ball contact.
And the pitch. And frame job, not going to do it. And that's going to be ball 2. Just missing that strike zone. Now we're at 2-2. And a pitch. And Cal Raleigh deliberately brought it outside. Don't really understand that. And the pitch. Foul ball. Now we're at 3-2. And the pitch. And that hit him. And that's going to be the bases loaded with 1 out. And so much hitting is going on. And now it's going to be Christian Walker. Sure, he's been struggling. Hey, Daniel Berry, how's it going? I'm not going. But Christian Walker's up to the plate. I mean, I'm all for playing a little bit of rivalry, but this is taking it too far, and it's too dangerous of a situation to be losing control like that. And now this is, and I think after this inning, I honestly think, now to think of it, Dan Wilson probably should just pull them out right now because he is just absolutely struggling. Emerson Hancock is not pitching well. And now the pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball. The magic number is 3 balls. And at 4, that's going to be the lead. We're at 1-0 for Christian Walker. And now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball drilled to left field, but Rosarena catches it, tagging at third, and that's going to score in the run. Yep, sacrifice flying. Again, Randy Rosarena showed absolutely zero urgency. I know that it was just way deep, but you should have at least made the attempt. Like, Rosarena again shows absolutely no sense of urgency. I really don't like Rosarena. I'm just looking at him. He's just casually throwing it. I would have liked to see him a little bit more of an effort. But he didn't do it. Now here's Victor Caratini. And now the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. I think after this inning, you got to get Emerson Hancock out of there. He's just not pitching good at all. We're at 1-0 for Caratini. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford, and that will be retiring the side. But the Astros do get a run to take the lead 3-2, and we go into the top of the 6th inning. That was just absolutely a frustrating inning to watch. You see, Randy Arozarena is he's just lazy, just doesn't give any effort. And then you have Dan Wilson literally allowing it to happen. Now they're talking to Emerson Hancock on the TV.
Each year it teaches you something new and something different. Like as a kid, it teaches you that you can work hard and have fun, you can be with your teammates, and as you get older, it kind of teaches you a lot of life lessons. It's so much fun. You never can figure it out. And I think no matter how much success you have, it's just always like the game. You can always win. The biggest thing is just, you never quit. Never quit. Always working. Just you can dream about it, go about it, and shoot it. And for me, it's just kind of feels like that's how it's been. I've been so fortunate to be introduced to this organization. The people that we bring in are incredible. I take this jersey, and every single day I come in here, every single time I'm on the mound, I'm living my dream every day.
Celebrate Pride Night with the Mariners on June 4th.
And we are back from the break. Yeah, Astros took the lead because of Randy Arozarena's laziness. He's literally lazy. He owes us. He better hit a home run next at bat. That's what I want to see from him. And maybe I'll consider forgetting about it and not trying to humiliate him on my YouTube channel. And I know he doesn't care because he makes millions of dollars. So what's it worth to me to do it? Now here's Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And the pitch. And a big swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike one. And a pitch. And now here's a liner to left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Now you got Cal Raleigh at first base. Now you got Randy Arozarena up to the plate. And Randy, you absolutely owe me for your absolute laziness. You got to hit that home run, or at least move Cal Raleigh. You got to go in with a hit, or at least just not getting out. Now here's Randy Arozarena up to the plate. Now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. And once again, he doesn't swing at actual good pitches, but he'll swing at the bad ones. But that's his cold zone, I guess. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike again. And once again, he's not swinging at it. Already down to 2 strikes. And once you get there, once Arozarena is out, then you have Rowdy Tellez, which you can't expect too much from him because he's boom or bust. And now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. That nearly hit him. And honestly, maybe he should have just taken one for the team because he is just that useless. No, Solano is not available. Do not play Solano. Please don't play Solano. I'm begging you. Let Tellez hit. 1-2. And check swing. Did he go? Of course he did, because you, Randy Arozarena, you fucking idiot. You swing. You refuse to swing at good pitches, but you swing at really crappy pitches. I don't even want you on this team anymore. You're useless. Get out of here. Rosarena is absolutely useless. And Dan Wilson wants to challenge the call, which it's going to be a waste of a challenge. I mean, he swung at it. It was a bad pitch to swing anyway. I heavily disagree with it. Or I guess no challenge. Dylan Moore is going to bat instead of Rowdy Tellez, which I guess that's okay. They did it right simultaneously. Randy Rosarena is such an idiot. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
Randy at bats are funny. You take two right down the middle and you swing at one on the ground. That is exactly who Randy Rosarena is. He's just not good. I can see why it only cost Aiden Smith to get rid of him. And I wonder how Aiden Smith is doing in the minors. Now here's Dylan Moore up to the plate, and now the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. Let's see. In Bowling Green, A+. He's batting .219 with .342. Yeah, no wonder that only cost Aiden Smith to get rid of him. Makes sense now. Now we're at 1-0, and now the pitch outside for a ball. No wonder he was worth less. Now we're at 2-0 for Dylan Moore. And now the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. Now we're at 3-0. And now the pitch. Inside, that nearly got him. And that is ball 4, take your base. And now you got runners on first and second. And next is going to be... Who's next? It's going to be Leody Taveras. And it's going to be another opportunity for him to maybe get some extra base hits on there. Here's Taveras. He is 1 for 2. He hit a home run in his first at-bat. And now the pitch. And a big curveball, and that is a strike. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Now here's a liner to left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And as Randy, it's going to be a challenge to throw to the plate. And wow, you got thrown out by fucking Jose Altuve with his barely noodle arm, and you threw him out. You got thrown out. I don't know. That's how desperate the Mariners were. That was just too aggressive. But I can see why he did it, because it's not like Altuve was going to have a big arm, which he doesn't, but he still got thrown out anyway.
Cal did not hesitate down the third base right there. He ran the third. So
Now you're going to have Miles Mastroboni up to the plate. Now we got 2 outs. And even then, I don't even trust him. Even with the home run, because the home run was just insanely lucky. 1 for 1 is Mastroboni. He walked with a home and a home run. Now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike.
Any other left fielder, it's a stop sign. And 100%. It's just a scouting report on Jose Altuve. That's a one-hop bullet, too. Mastroboni, the batter.
And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And why aren't you not swinging at that? Now I'm starting to think that the Mariners series winning streaks was just an absolute fluke. Because you're about to be put in a position to have to split the Astros. Now the 0-2. And that's going to be inside for a ball, 1-2.
So it's a big knock right there with a 2-out lightning.
Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball. You better run your ass off to throw to first. And that is going to be in time. And that is going to retire the side. Mariners wasted with 2 men on. And now it is still 3-2. Just an absolute embarrassment. I want to see what the Twitter feeds even said about it. Well, now I'm just going to play this game. Now I have the bases loaded. And I struck out.
It's always happening. It's part of life. Here at Xfinity, we want to do our part to keep one thing safe. With a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. So no matter how your other costs change, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi without extra equipment included. For a price that stays exactly the same.
Seems like everyone's going country these days. Let me show you how it's done. Yep, that Nashville hot sweet heat is here. And my 100% all white meat popcorn chicken starting at $6.99. Tastes good to go country. It's so much more.
Welcome back, Brian Adam with you in Houston at the Ford Sports Desk. We saw good news. George Kirby made his season debut last night. More positive steps for the rotation as Logan Gilbert and Bryce Miller threw a sim game today, an up-down sim game. 2 innings each. Miller throwing 4.
And we are back from the break.
Logan Gilbert 35, 20 warm-ups. Both came out of it feeling great. Logan said he threw everything, mid-90s.
And Hancock is still going to be pitching. And at this point, I kind of disagree with it, but I guess they just still want to preserve him or preserve the bullpen. And now here's a liner to left field, and that is going to be a base hit. And you know, at this point, I just yank him out. I mean, he's been struggling this entire game. He's had very iffy innings, and I think Dan Wilson should take him out. I mean, let's do it. This is where I think you should pull him out. And it looks like it's not happening. But I think I would do it. But I don't know why Dan Wilson, I don't know why he won't do it. Like it looks like he's allowing not good, so good pitching performances to still stay. Now here's Cam Smith, now the pitch, and that's going to be inside for a ball. Now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. That's going to be 2-0. I'm telling you, if you don't get an out, you got to pull him out for sure. Now we're at 2-0. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Now we're at 2-1 for Cam Smith. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two.
Not a close play at home plate, but man, I think all of us will agree. Do that all day long.
Now, 2 days average throw this year has been 80 miles an hour, and the top qualified outfielder is Oneil Cruz at 97 miles an hour, to give you a difference of the variance there.
But it's so hard, like I said, one hop right to him, he was able to get it.
Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. And now here's a throw to second, and that's going to be in time. And a good throw by Cal Raleigh. That was a huge critical play. And now we've got one out, but 3-2. Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. And it's not much that they could have done, but when 2 strikes, you should have got him out. Now you got runners on first again. Now here's Mauricio Dubon up to the plate, who is 0 for 2. Now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, jammed up, and that should be caught by Dylan Moore, and it is. And now we've got one out. Colin Snyder is in the bullpen. So I guess he earned another day compared to yesterday. Mariners did waste him when the game was pretty much over. You were better off just burning through Pizzardo and Jesse Hahn, which, by the way, Jesse Hahn has been cut from the team. Now we're at 0-1 for Jeremy Pena, who is 0 for 2. Now we're at 0-1. Now here's a ground ball, and this could be double play ball. Throw to second. Oh, wait, it's already 2 outs. What was I talking about? And that is going to retire the side. We go to top of the 7th inning. It is still 3-2 Astros. Show the gamer. I won't say, no, not going to do it. The only game I can show you is this, because I am not, because here's the thing. I may not tell you, but YouTube is already going to know. So I don't want to get myself demonetized. No, thank you. I just can't do it. It just won't do it for me. I'm sorry, buddy.
I served in Vietnam in 1969. Try to always be there for each other.
I do my best reaching out to my brothers and sisters in arms.
That's always tough, right? Can't say that I have.
You don't have someone to kind of help you guide those thoughts. It can be really bad.
Eventually, just can't deal with it. I guess it's part of military too, right? Service before self.
It was drilled in service before self.
And then you start to question, maybe people would be better off without them, You realize that you're not alone. Once you take that first step, there's so much support.
And we are back from the break. Now it's Brian King who has taken over. They're going to go with the lefty going up against Ben Williamson. Now the pitch. That's going to be popped up and to center field. And he makes the catch.
This year. I'm surprised that he's pitching in the seventh inning, but he's no problem ready.
Now here's J.P. Crawford up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball.
Crawford 1 for 3 tonight.
And the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. And the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive to left field. And that is going to be a base hit. Could it be extra bases? And I don't think nope, Crawford is not going to challenge him. And now you've got Jorge Polanco. And this is probably where you're going to put in Donovan Solano, which I wouldn't do it because, I mean, Polanco's struggling, yes. But Solano's not going to do much better. He's not going to get you anything else. Garver's coming in for Polanco. And again, it's not going to be that much better either. Because Polanco just can't hit at all. But you know that Garver's not going to be any much of a better solution either. I mean, at this point, this is where you question, like, should they just call up Harry Ford? Because Garver's batting .227. He has absolutely no slugging. He has close to no extra bases. He only has one double. And the throw to first and not in time. Sure, he has a 356 OBP, but his slugging percentage is absolutely atrocious. So it doesn't really get you any extra base hits. He'll maybe get you a walk at best. And the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. That was his pitch right there. It was literally on his hot spot. And yet he doesn't even swing for it. You don't swing at strikes, and yet you swing at absolute balls. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss again. So it seems that after this strikeout, look at Polanco. He is visibly frustrated. He's had a horrible game so far. Now we're at 0-2, on the verge of being 2 outs. And watch this magic trick I have. Bye-bye. Oh, no. It's going to be 1-2 for Garver. I thought he was going to strike out on that for sure. Now we're at 1-2, and now the pitch. Low for a ball, 2-2. Now we're at 2-2. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Garver doesn't swing at a strike, but Garver swings at a ball. Sounds about right.
Exactly what a spot is going to do. So he will use Abreu for 4 outs, you'd imagine. Our throwing right-hander who is
Sounds about right. It's a frustrating game.
and more of your local teams. Streaming live on all your devices. Plus, over 100 top channels. Try free at PlutoTV.com.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver. Northwest buyers can get 0.9% financing in all 2025 Silverado pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Or get $53.50 total value on this Silverado. Plus get $22.50 trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Oh, man.
Hosting the Twins, and as part of the day's festivities, all kids 14 and under will take home this Cal Raleigh Mariners poster. Mariners.com/tickets. Now, one of the great 8th-inning men in baseball will be pitching here in the 7th. Brian Abreu, who has been so tough this year on both lefties and righties.
Now we got Brian Abreu as we are back from the break. And now we've got Julio Rodriguez. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. I mean, for Julio Rodriguez, we could really use a 2-run home run out of Julio. We're at 1-0 for Julio Rodriguez. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike one. I mean, I like that he swung at it, but he just cannot make good contact.
Since he's last saw the Mariners.
Now we're at 1-1 for Julio, and now the pitch. Now here's a liner to right field, and that is going to be a fair ball into the corner. Could that be enough for J.P. Crawford to score? They are waving him in. He is running, and is there going to be the throw to the plate? And it is not in time. It is not in time, and he barely made it through. And the Mariners have tied this game at 3-3 on an RBI double by J.P. Crawford. And I am surprised the tag wasn't even applied. Like, I am absolutely shocked by this. Just want to see this again. Julio just swung at it. It was really beautifully swung at. Definitely exactly what they needed. And now here was the waving at home. And somehow the catcher didn't even pay attention. And now here's Cal Raleigh. Now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball. Is that going to be enough? Going to right field. Is that going? And that is fair. That fair ball. And that is a home run for Cal Raleigh. Mariners take the lead to make it 5-3. A 2-run home run. Home run number 17. It's the Mariners 5 and the Astros 3. And I thought for sure that was a foul ball. I had to double check until Goldsmith said it. And as soon as he said it was a home run, it was a home run to be confirmed. And now it is a brand new ball game, 5-3. And I have just completely woken up. I now no longer sleepy for now. Big dumper with a huge home run going to right field. And I wonder if this would be challengeable. And I think that ball nearly hit the roof too. That was just absolutely smoked. And now we got Randy and Rosarena. And Rosarena, you owe me for this. And now the pitch. And that is a swing and a miss. Cannot believe that Cal Raleigh just absolutely smoked. And Logan, just stop it. Stop taunting.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't think that you can oversell this like Logan is trying to do. Ryan Abreu.
Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right center field. And that's going to be caught by Jake Myers. But the Mariners do get 3 runs in. And now they've taken the lead. And now this crazy guy has got to go to the bathroom.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're going to spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
Play Mariners Scratch for a chance to win a trip to 2026 spring training.
Imagine going to spring training in sunny Arizona with Mariners Scratch. Washington's lottery.
And we were in the middle of a losing streak. Woo! And we are back from the break, and let's hope that they're just gonna reminisce on the Cal Raleigh home run. That was just smoked, and I think it nearly hit the roof. Oh, it hit the pole. I guess it hit, as long as it hits the pole, you're good. So that should have been a foul ball. That was a home run right at the skin of the teeth. By the way, most go-ahead home runs in the 7th inning or later, Cal Raleigh. Oh, and I forgot to sing the Louie Louie again. I'm just completely off because I had to go pee-pee. And I missed God Bless America. I am so unpatriotic. Say it in the comments and tell me how unpatriotic I am. I missed not only God Bless America, I missed the 7th inning stretch. Now here's Matt Brash, and that's going to be low for a ball.
Another great story too. You ask around, guys to say this.
And now we got a 1-1, and now the pitch, and that is a strike. We're at 1-2 by Matt Brash to Isaac Paredes. And be very careful with him. Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that just bounced off. And as much as I'm happy for Matt Brash to be back, he still has to work on his control because he is still a very erratic pitcher, and he's been known to be very erratic. And don't forget, Mariners only have a 2-run lead, so it's still clearly not enough. And now the pitch. Low for a ball 3. Yeah, it's still ways to go until this game is maybe over. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
It's a great point until they got to a break. To their great credit.
Now we're at 3-2. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
You should make 10 times out of 10. And good hitters beat a good pitcher in that sequence.
Now here's a ground ball and diving stop by Ben Williamson, and the throw to first in time. Great defense by Ben Williamson, preventing a base hit. This guy can really play third base. Like, honestly, I know his bat is not exactly great, but as long as you have other offensive players, I mean, I'll take that over Jorge Polanco at third base because that was painful to watch. Does anyone remember that still? That's exactly. You don't really remember it anymore because it barely happened. Oh, great. We got Jose Altuve, who was 3 for 3. Oh, no, I cannot look, but I don't have anyone else in the play-by-play. The pitch, now here's a foul ball. And the pitch. And that's going to be a ball. 1-1. Matt Brash isn't exactly 2023 form, but he has yet to give up a run. But that could change any time with Jose Altuve's bat. Now we're at 1-1. The pitch. Way outside for a ball. And Matt Brash continues to throw very erratically. I mean, Matt Brash is a fun pitcher to watch. And Couch GM, he really taught me on that. And the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to JP Crawford. Throw to first, and that is in time. Now we got 2 outs. And now the pitch. Low swing and a miss. And that is going to be strike 1 by Brash. Over to Yainer Diaz, who is 0 for 2. And good thing I did not even start him. Now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And Matt Brash is getting away with his wildness. But I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. No surprise.
The league is swinging at those about 28% of the time, and Diaz is swinging at them about 43% of the time.
And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. We're at 2-2, and now the pitch again outside for a ball. 3-2. Yeah, I think Matt Brash is not going to be pitching after this inning. He's too wild right now. And I know Couch GM taught me how to like him. But he's just a wild man. Now we're at 3-2. And now the pitch. And low for ball 4. Take your base. And now you got the tying run at the plate. And I think it's going to be Christian Walker up to the plate. And it is Christian Walker. And it's not like you can really pull anyone else for it, because there's no matchup implications on this. Yeah, if this thing goes the way I think it's going to go, I will thank Logan Gilbert for his taunting this with the trident. Astros and Mariners. Mariners and Astros this season, 3 of 4 meetings decided by 1 run. Series tied at 2-2. And now we've got Christian Walker up to the plate, who hit the sac fly for the RBI. And now the pitch. And it's outside for a ball, and Brash continues to struggle with his control. Let's see where his strikes and his balls are in the splits. He has 9 strikes to 11 balls. Not good. As we're at 1-0 the pitch, and he loses it again. Ball 2. Pete Crow Armstrong is actually on my fantasy baseball team, and it was a great waiver pickup that he got for me. I play in a 12-team league. Now we're at 2-0 for Christian Walker. Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. The throw to first, long way. And that is in time, and they just get out of a jam. Felt like a jam anyway, out of Matt Brash's wildness. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. And I should present my game again, my cute little Game Boy game. Let's do this again.
Right now at Less Fault Tires, it's the best for less stage event. Save up to $120 instantly on a set of 4 tires. Choose from a wide selection of our longest-lasting, best-performing tires, and every tire is covered by America's best tire warranty. With a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tire. It's our best deal on our best tires, with the best service in the business. Get more for less. Fill up on all the good stuff at Subway. All your faves, tons of crispy veggies and fresh sliced meat. And now buy any footlong nap for $6.99. Great bread, great meat, great sauce, great meal. Get on it, people. Order now on the Subway.
5-3 Mariners take the lead.
And we are back from the break, and it's time for me to give this game a break. Abreu is back on the mound. I thought they would pull him out, but they've already wasted so much of their bullpen, thankfully. Now here's Dylan Moore up to the plate, who did walk the last time around.
Houston Astros, probably the reason why Gus had a little bit of a longer leash, but I mean, they're spent. 2 guys who were fresh coming in tonight, who were Josh.
We're at top of the 8th inning.
2 more games, Saturday, Sunday. He's going to get multiple innings right here. They cover the 9th inning.
And the pitch. Oh, that nearly got him. But that's going to be ball 1. Dylan Moore is batting .279 with 8 home runs and 16 RBIs. And now the 1-0 pitch. He has more home runs than Randy Arozarena. He should be at 10 by now with the way he gloats about himself. Now we're at 1-1. And that's going to be outside for a ball. 2-1. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Now we're at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball by Abreu. And now we've got 1 out.
Everybody talks about first base being the east position to do, but that stretch all the way out, foot gets pulled off just ever slightly, but he's quick enough to know where he is. Get his foot back over that great play. That's a play that a lot of
Now we got Leody Taveras, who's actually 2 for 3. He had a home run and he nearly had an RBI. Now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to center field, and that's actually a bloop single for a base hit. And now we got a man on first base. That is Taveras. And now we've got batter number 8. That is going to be Miles Mastroboni. Maybe put in Leo Rivas, but Mastroboni did hit a home run. Mariners are literally living and dying by the home run in this game. We're at 1 for 2 is Mastroboni, so they're going to go with him. And now the throw to first. I think he got him. And he does get him. He is picked off, and now that's going to be 2 outs. Too much of a lead. Yeah, I knew he was out. Yeah, and if Jay Buhner, you should not be joking about that. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. Yeah, Mastroboni didn't even see a pitch before an out even happened. And now the pitch again. Up high for a ball. And now the 2-0. Low for a ball, 3-0.
He is one of 3 hitters to homer tonight for the Mariners. Taveras, Cal Ramos.
Now 3-0 for Mastroboni, the pitch. And that is going to be a strike this time. Now we're at 3-1 for the Maestro. And now the pitch. Low for ball 4. Take your base. And Fritz. Whoa, what I miss? I saw Garver was a strikeout. You missed a double by Julio Rodriguez. And then Cal Raleigh with the home run. And thank you for your donations. That's now $12. Now the magic number is $38. So let's make it happen. Getting not that close, but maybe to the half. Maybe get me the half by the end of the day. I'll be happy. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. Way outside. And that's for Ben Williamson. And the pitch. Outside for a ball again. That's going to be 2-0. And Abreu's losing his control. Now we got Carlos Vargas in the bullpen. Come on. That's not going to do it for me. You know that's going to be a failure. And now we got 2-0 for Ben Williamson. And throw to first. That's going to be not in time. And Abreu is really just keeping them in line. Now we're at 2-0. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss. That's going to be strike 1. And now we're at 2-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss again. Strike 2 on a 99. And a Braves still maintaining that velocity. Fans are up on their feet. They really feel that they can be confident in their Astros with Carlos Vargas on the mound. And now the 2-2. And now here's a fly ball foul. Now we're at 2-2. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. 3-2 to Ben Williamson. He is 0 for 2. Would like to see him get something done. Walk rate. Mariners are the second best team in producing walks. Let's see if he can get a walk on this for J.P. Crawford. And the throw to first. Not in time. It's the second time the Miles Mastroboni and third time in this inning. Now we're at 3-2 for Williamson. And now the pitch. And strike 3 called. And that is going to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. There is still very much time for the Astros to make that comeback. And we'll be back after this timeout. Maybe go away, Fritz. Maybe stream off or something. Just give me money. Don't want you to jinx it. No offense. I'm just joking. I'm just joshing with you. Oh, no. No. That's going to be a double. And we are back from the break. Carlos Vargas is pitching, and that is probably going to validate that we are doomed. You know, the betting nerds should really say that the Astros should be more favored to win at this point, because when you have Carlos Vargas in there, things are due for trouble, which he also has massive control issues too. Donovan Solano. Why? Why is Solano still on this team? I can't believe he can still get away with that. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that can be a tough play. Nope, throw to first in time, and that's going to be 1 out.
Especially Joel Glover out there at second base.
Now, here is the pitch, and that's going to be a strike. And Vargas with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. That's why he's on this team. He's got the velocity. Umpire gave him a freebie on that one. Now we're at 0-1. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss or a foul ball, strike 2. Andres Munoz is in the bullpen.
Wilson would go to Munoz to face the tying man at the plate. And
Josh Hader is now also in the bullpen in case the Astros make some kind of a rally. Both the closers are warming up right now. And now here's the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field, but Julio's going to be there. And he makes the catch. And that's going to be 2 outs. Good start by Carlos Vargas so far. Now we're at the pitch. Now here it is. Now here's a ground ball right to J.P. Crawford. Backhanded effort to throw to first. And it's not in time. It was a good effort by J.P. Crawford. It was about to be a highlight reel, but not quite. But now you have the tying run at the plate. It was still a good effort by J.P. Makes you wonder if that is even challengeable, though. If I were Dan Wilson, maybe go for that challenge. You just never know. I don't think they're going to do it. Maybe they are because there is some kind of hesitations going on. And nope, they're not going to. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right through Solano, and that is going to be a base hit. Now you got the lead run at the plate. And with 2 outs, and as soon as I said Carlos Vargas was off to a good start in the inning, this happens. Sounds about right. And I wonder if Andres Munoz is... No, I think... Yeah, Solano was just literally standing there. His placement was terrible, too. You got Jeremy Pena. Now you have the heart of the lineup. And yeah, they're saying that Munoz is just not... He's just not ready to go yet. Now here's Jeremy Pena, and he can change this game immediately. And time has been called. This is where you get absolutely nervous. No, he doesn't. He just has to any kind of contact, and you can get 2 runs in if it goes into the gap or in the corners. And now the pitch. And that is going to be a ball, and that slipping by Cal Raleigh really did not help. And Cal Raleigh's just trying to have a communication with him and say, why don't you pitch it up just a little bit? But I don't know. Now we're at 1-0 for Jeremy Pena. And after this, it's going to be Isaac Paredes. So you really need to get out of this inning real fast. I mean, if you don't get Jeremy Pena out, you may have lost this game. Now we're at 1-0 for Jeremy Pena. And Cal Raleigh's going to have a little bit of a chatter. Fans are not happy about it. And why would they? It's like Vargas has an interpreter. Not sure what it is.
Look at those eyes. It was Cal's home run that put the Mariners in front. I think the jeopardy here.
Now here's Jeremy Pena, who is 0 for 3, but this could be a very clutch opportunity for him. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, and that is a foul ball. That was a close one. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ben Williamson. He'll go to the bag, and he will get out of the inning as the Mariners get themselves out of a jam once again. And we will go into the top of the 9th inning, and insurance runs will absolutely be needed.
Yep, that Nashville hot sweet heat is here. On my 100% all white meat popcorn chicken starting at $6.99. Tastes good to go country. Get so much more.
This is such a big series. If ever this was the time for Andres Munoz. Yeah, I agree. Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
Tired today.
Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
SoundCloud shows me Capital One Smart Cash Plus. It's a serious business card with unlimited 2% cash back on everything they buy. So they reinvested their cash back to help build their future. What's in your wallet?
I'm not gonna do anything flashy to announce my munchies under $4. The items you crave, like tiny tacos or French toast sticks for less than $4.
But I will do something explosive. Every night's a big deal.
They need to quit letting Dubon and Smith get hits. They are not good hitters. Yeah, it's true. Who had more impressive? I would say Julio Rodriguez. Ben Williamson has been key defensively in this game, preventing the key runs. And by the way, I think this is now my 25th game of the season. Now they're going to go to Josh Hader because they just want to make sure. And now here's J.P. Crawford. Now here's a pop-up to left field. And he makes the catch.
Well, the Mariners come back home next week, and the homestand begins a 3 straight value game. You can pick up tickets for as little as $11
But yeah, I'm going to check how many games I have this season. I'm at 25. Magic number is 75. But once, and I'm on pace for 97 based on availability. Now here's Mitch Garver up to the plate. And now the pitch. Well, Kevin Kirby, I think Jay Buhner is still busy with his Northwest Motor Trucks business. So I think he just doesn't actually really have an actual capital to afford. Like he doesn't make the, and here's the pitch, and that's going to be a strike 0-2. Like he doesn't have like the actual capital. Like Jay Buhner's net worth, it's not publicly available. Let's see how his business did. I thought Northwest Motors was still around. I'm going to look it up. Northwest Motorsports. Now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field, and that's going to be caught by. Oh, wow. Northwest Motorsport permanently closes across Washington. Yeesh. He had place in Pasco, Spokane Valley, Linwood, Marysville, and Puyallup. And this was as of 2024 that the business did close. So now Jay Buhner, I guess he's just taking a paycheck out of Root Sports. That now it makes sense why he's there more often. Had no idea that Northwest Motors had no idea that it was a failing business. It's pretty sad to hear that Jay Buhner's business didn't go well at all. And now the 0-1 outside for a ball, and it did have a long it did at least last as long as it could. Just did not work out for Jay Buhner.
Folks, JB.
And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Why did he even swing at that one? Their last video done was 1 year ago. It's pretty sad that they couldn't really sell any trucks, but I mean, to be fair, it was a very niche business. I think, yeah, he did. He had to own Northwest Motors. Jay Buhner, Northwest Motors. Really thought that was his business. So Jay Buhner was the pitch man. Oh, so he wasn't. They were just using him as an endorsement. I thought he was the owner. I had it wrong the entire time. I'm such an idiot. So he was just used for marketing. And now the 1-2. That is up high for a ball. But yeah, you can see that Jay Buhner never really had. Yeah, you're right, Kevin Kirby. I stand corrected. I really thought that Jay Buhner, I really thought that was his actual business. Now we're at 2-2, the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to the shortstop. And bobbled by Pena, the throw to first. And still in time. Julio really kind of lacks that hustle. Really bothers me a lot. But we're going to go into the bottom of the 9th inning. It is closing door time for Andres Munoz. He now has a 2-run lead to work with. Not much. Jay Buhner earned a total of $37 million. So, sure, he made $37 million. The most he made was in the year his most paid year was 1996. So yeah, he made a total of $37 million. So I would imagine that he didn't exactly make the net worth of Ken Griffey Jr., obviously. Ken Griffey Jr. net worth. He's a $40 million net worth. Still makes his money from endorsements. Yeah, it's kind of sad that Jay Buhner just is a spokesman of Northwest Motorsports, but I would think the Northwest Motorsport business was pretty niche. I guess especially in those areas, those are the areas that make sense. Like you were never going to see a Northwest Motorsport in Seattle. You're not going to see one in Issaquah, Bellevue, because they're more of a techie kind of thing. So I guess it made more sense that it was in areas like in Puyallup and Marysville. That's where you see more of those trucks out there. When I went to those areas, there were trucks. Yeah, so pretty sad story about the Northwest Motors. Just did not work for them. I really thought he was the owner the entire time. I don't know why I thought of that. There's an Earnhardt series. And we are back from the break, and now it's going to be up to Andres Munoz to close this game. Was in Issaquah in September. So many people with Tesla, that's crazy. I'm also a Tesla owner too, so I'm part of that whole craziness. Luckily, my car hasn't been vandalized yet. I would be very hesitant to take that car to Seattle. Andres Munoz has yet to to give up an earned run. The Cybertrucks, oh my God, the Cybertrucks is awful. I know people that tried to get that, and I heard they had a talking to. And now here's the pitch to Paredes, and that's a strike, and that's a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Yeah, the Cybertrucks are just oversized. They're ugly. Good God, I can't even stand them. I saw so many of them in Arizona, too. So many Teslas in Arizona, too. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 2. That was a nasty pitch by Munoz. And also, just want to let you know that I'm doing a show with the Jay Trident podcast. It's going to be his membership live streaming show. So I suggest you do be there and join his membership as soon as you can. Jay Trident podcast is the guy. Definitely take a look at his channel. And here's the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to center field, but Julio's going to be there. And he makes the catch, and now we've got 1 away, 2 outs away. Yeah, a lot of Teslas are great. Cybertruck's not one of his better ideas. No, it was not. I thought it was very ugly. Really thought it was. But let me get you the Jay Trident podcast. Gonna get you his YouTube channel. Now, I'm looking at Northwest Sports Fanatics. He has like 78 viewers right now, and look what I have. All I've got is like 6. And now the pitch to Altuve, and that's going to be a foul ball. Still gets his views, Jay Trident podcast. And me, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I want to do. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball for Jose Altuve as he is 3 for 4. So after this game, I will be taking off instantly in favor of Jay Trident podcast because I will be joining his show. Now we're at 0-2 for Jose Altuve. Munoz is set. And now the 0-2 pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and that should be playable. And Randy Arozarena, Julio. Yeah, can you guys like talk as they make the catch? And they're laughing about it. It's like Jay Buhner was like, just talk. Oh, what? The game just ended? Bunny, my game streaming was so behind. Very nice. Very good. So the game is over. I'm taking off. If anyone wants to donate to this channel, get me to at least $25 on my goal of 50. It's on you guys. But either way, just wanted to say thank you for being on this show. And just want to say, yep, Munoz is a game changer. We got him out of Austin Nola. Remember that? We got him out of Austin Nola, which got us Ty France, Taylor Trammell, and Andres Munoz. And Jerry DiPoto, I think that was easily his best trade that he ever made. I think that was absolutely his best trade he ever made in his history. But I'm going to take off. I just want to say thank you very much for being on this show. And hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification. And I will be taking off right now.